Hey everyone, J3 here, and welcome back to Take the Leap Invest Within the Week online seminar series. This is our third video in the series where we'll be talking about the investing strategies in the stock market. Now, if by any chance you haven't watched any of the previous videos yet, please watch them first. The links can be found on the top of this video so that you don't get lost as we discuss this third video. Now, once again, I'd like to thank you for the comments and questions you left in the previous video about the basics of the stock market. Let me tell you, I really appreciate them. Now, moving on, today we'll be talking about two things. In part A, we'll discuss the importance of strategy, and I call this concept strategy-focused investing. Then, in part B, I'll give you a run-through of the three basic investing strategies. We'll talk about how each strategy works and how much time and effort you need to execute each one. And then at the end, we'll compare each one so that you can understand your options as you start investing. With that said, let's get started. Okay, what is a strategy? A strategy is an investing plan on how you will buy and sell stocks forever. Now, I'm saying forever because it's a process that you will execute over and over again as you make your investment decisions. And your strategy will become very important because this will determine how much time and how much effort you need to give for investing in the stock market. As a result, having a solid strategy will determine if you are going to have peace of mind as you invest in the stock market. Now, to elaborate more on strategy-focused investing, I will first introduce to you the opposite, which is stock-focused investing. Stock-focused investing is focusing too much on what stocks to buy today, next week, next month, and for this year. So investors who focus too much on the stock itself always ask for stock tips and the latest trends. They concern themselves with what other people are buying and what they are doing. The end result is that they always get worried if they made the right decision. They are stressed and anxious about what stock is going to go up and what stock is going to go down. In other words, they let the stock market complicate their lifestyle. Now, I don't want this to happen to you. That's why I want you to become a strategy-focused investor. A strategy-focused investor has a definite plan on what stocks to buy and when to sell them. They have a process for it. They are focused on the how rather than the what. As a result, they are also the most relaxed and most confident investors out there. Rather than complicating their life with the stock market, they have managed to complement it. And it's all because they focused on having a strategy. We have a popular saying, give a man a fish and he will live for a day. Teach a man how to fish and he will live for a lifetime. This quote captures the most important difference of stock-focused investing and strategy-focused investing. With that, I would just like to say that this is the reason why I will never give you stock tips and why I will never answer the question on what stocks you should buy. If I give you stock tips, you will be dependent on them for a lifetime, and that's not how you should be investing. But what I will do is help you have an investing strategy so that you can conveniently and confidently invest in the stock market on your own. Now that you understand the importance of strategy, let's discuss the three basic investing strategies. Again, we'll go through each one, then compare them all together towards the end. The first investing strategy is called buy and hold. And just for illustration purposes, I'll be bringing back the graph of the PSE index. If you already forgot this, the PSE index is a group or combination of selected companies here in the Philippines, and this index can be used as a standard on how the whole Philippine stock market is going. So we'll be using this picture over and over again as we discuss the different investing strategies. Now, going back to the buy and hold. The way this works is that you buy a stock and then totally forget about it. Okay, you hold the stock until the end of time. The only time you sell it is when you need the money 10, 20, 30 years down the road. For the buy and hold strategy, bulk of the effort goes into buying a good stock. Since you'll be forgetting about the stock you should pick should be the giants of today's industry. The companies who will outlive you, your children, and your children's children. These are the companies who have a history of expanding their ways of making money. Now, just as an example, I'll give you a few of these companies. One of these companies is PLDT. PLDT used to be known only as a provider of telephone services. Then they expanded their business to also provide internet and cellular services. So now we have PLDT MyDSL and Smart. And a few years ago, they acquired their competitor Sun Cellular. PLDT is a giant in the telecommunications industry. Next is Jollibee Foods Corporation. They began just by selling ice cream. Then their business shifted to selling hot dogs. Then after the hot dogs came the Yum Burgers and Chicken Joy. When they couldn't sell any more chicken, they bought Greenwich. This marked their entrance in the pizza pasta business. Now they own Chowking, Red Ribbon, Burger King Philippines, and Mang Inasal. So Jollibee, it's clearly a giant in the food industry. Next, San Miguel Corporation. San Miguel Corporation has been recognized for its world-famous San Miguel beer. But aside from this product, SMC has had a history of expanding into new businesses. Some of these businesses are Meralco, Philippine Airlines, and Petron Corporation. San Miguel Corporation will keep on evolving to adapt to this ever-changing market. Now, with these three examples, I'm sure you can give a few of them too. Who are the giants when it comes to banking? I can think of three right now. One is colored red, then two are colored blue. Okay, can you guess them? Here are the three giants when it comes to banking. BPI, the red one, BDO, which is blue and yellow, and then Metrobank, which is blue. Now, think about the big malls. Who owns them? What about the airlines? Who provides you electricity? Who provides you water? Now, the answers to these questions are your giants. Now, after you buy shares of stock in these giant companies, the next very, very important step is to forget about it. You ignore all the information about it. That stock will go up and it will also go down. You will hear bad news and you will hear good news, and that's guaranteed. But since this is a buy and hold strategy, you should just ignore all the information about it. That's how it works. Stick to the strategy, because if you don't, you're only going to get stressed reading up on all the news, not knowing what to do about it. In other words, mapapraning ka. So that's how the buy and hold strategy works. Now, I'd like to show you how much money we could have made if we did a buy and hold strategy on the previous companies we discussed. If we invested in PLDT, San Miguel, and Jollibee, this is how much money we would have made at the end of 2012. Okay? PLDT's price back in December 2000 was 800 pesos per share. In 2012, the stock price of PLDT has been 2,586. Now, that's a growth of 10% per year. Now, Jollibee, it's a superstar. From 10 pesos in 2000, it became 104 pesos in 2012. That's a growth of 22% per year. San Miguel Corporation is a bit slower, but it's still good. It was 44 pesos back then. Then in 2012, it's 109 pesos. So that's a growth of 8% per year. Now, 8% per year, that's not bad. It still beats inflation. It beats your time deposit, and it beats some bonds out there. Now, just a word of caution, there is no guarantee that investing in these same companies will yield the same exact returns 12 years from now. The returns could be higher or maybe lower. No one can really tell what's going to happen. But hey, what you're banking on here is that these companies are giants and they will continue to grow in the long run. Now, to summarize the buy and hold and forget method, it's picking a giant of today's industry that will outlive you. After buying a stock, you forget about it. You only come back to it when you want to get the money already. Now, the buy and hold strategy is done by investors who, number one, have a large amount of extra capital. They are people who want a lot of convenience, since with this strategy, you'll only encounter the stock market once. Then that's it. There's no form of monitoring needed. So that's the buy and hold. Our next strategy is called Peso-Cost Averaging. The Peso-Cost Averaging is a simple, safe, and effective way to make money in the stock market. And it's done by investing a fixed amount of money at fixed intervals regardless of its price. Now here's what it looks like graphically. Okay, you can choose to buy every month, every quarter, every half a year, or even yearly. The important thing is that you buy the stock regularly. The way this works is that by investing in regular intervals, you'll be able to invest at points wherein the stock prices are relatively low. This is the most important feature of the Peso-Cost Averaging strategy. When you buy regularly, you will eventually buy on a relatively low price. And when that happens, and it's sure that it will happen, you will be able to buy more shares of stock since it's at a cheaper price. Mura na, marami ka pang mabibili. Now here's an example. Let's do a Peso-Cost Averaging on Ayala Land Incorporated, or ALI. Again, Peso-Cost Averaging is investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals. So in this example, we are investing 5,000 pesos per year. In the first column here, you can see that we are investing yearly every January from 2007 to 2012. In the second column are the stock prices of ALI changing over the years. These are the actual prices of Ayala Land Incorporated at the start of every January. In the third column, you can see the number of shares that can be bought with the 5,000 pesos per year. This number was obtained by simply dividing 5,000 with the price and rounded down to the nearest hundreds. This is because of the lot size restriction. Now, let's just skip that concept for now and return to it in the next videos. In this example, we started investing January of 2007, where the price of Ayala Land was only 12.71 per share. Then, for the number of shares purchased, it's going to be 5,000 pesos divided by 12.71. The result is 390 shares, which is going to be rounded down to the nearest hundred, which is 300 shares. The following year, we do the same thing. We invest 5,000 pesos worth of Ayala Land when the price was 14.25. So, 5,000 pesos divided by 14.25 is 350 shares, which is going to be rounded down to just 300 shares. Again, if you're wondering why we are rounding down, we'll talk about that in the later videos. Now, in 2009, the price of ALI dropped all the way down to 7 pesos per share. This is a drastic decrease, and at this point in time, you'll be seeing a negative 40% in your portfolio. So that's a huge paper loss. But with the Peso-Cost Averaging strategy, you won't care about it, and you shouldn't care about it. The Peso-Cost Averaging strategy will tell you to keep buying the stock regardless of its price. So that's what we do. We keep on buying the stock. We buy 5,000 pesos worth of the stock. So 5,000 pesos divided by 7 is 714 shares. Rounded down, it's going to be 700 shares. Now, please take note, when the price dropped down to 7 pesos, we were able to buy so much more shares of Ayala Land. Mas marami kang nabili dahil mas mura siya. What's going to happen here is that your average price per share will go down drastically. Yung average na binabayad mo kada share ay bababa ng todo dahil mas marami kang nabili habang mura yung stock. So, we bought at 12.71. We bought at 14.25 and we bought at 7 pesos. Pero if you take a look at the number of shares purchased, mas marami kang nabili nung 7 pesos per share lang siya. That's why the average purchase price will tend to remain lower than the actual price. That's what you'll see here in the graph to the right. The blue line is the stock price of Ayala Land Incorporated. The red line is our average purchase price of Ayala Land. This is the average price we paid for each share of Ayala Land we have. So, because we were able to buy more shares when the prices were low, the average price still remains low even if the prices were going up already. Now, this difference between the blue line and the red line is going to be your profit. Again, the reason why the red line will remain lower is because you were able to buy more shares of stock when the prices were low. Now, it is because of this that peso-cost averaging has been a timeless strategy for investing in the stock market. It's simple, convenient, and the math is on your side. Now, if you're going to do peso-cost averaging, here's what you need to have. Number one, a steady source of income. Since you'll be investing regularly, you need to have a steady source of income so that you can continue making the regular investments. Next, your time engagement with the stock market here would only be monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or yearly, depending on what interval you choose. This makes it very, very convenient, and it can fit in almost any schedule. Then, the most important requirement here is to invest with discipline. Again, the stock market will go up and it will go down. There will be bad news, there will be good news, but keep on investing and stick to the strategy. There will be times when the market will go down, and it's during those times that the opportunity to make money exists, just like our example with Ayala Land. Now, as for what company to do peso-cost averaging on, it's the same with buy and hold. Pick companies that will outlive you and the companies that have a history of expanding their ways of making money. So, that's it for peso-cost averaging. The third strategy is market timing. This is timing the market lows and selling at the highs in short periods of time. Here's what it looks like. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and so on. So if you're with this strategy, you're fully engaged with the stock market. You need to look at it at least once a week because you're timing the market. You need to be always updated with what's happening. With the market timing strategy, you will be using indicators and other tools to help predict where the market is going. This is what will enable you to time the market, to buy the low and sell at the high. So what you're seeing right now is an example of what you'll have to understand in order to time the market. This whole science is called technical analysis, and it's absolutely necessary that you learn it if you are going with a market timing strategy. And this is actually what makes the stock market seem so complicated. All the numbers, lines, dots, and patterns, and so on. But what you have to realize here now is that technical analysis is only necessary if you're going with a market timing strategy. So to summarize, market timing is the use of indicators to help predict where the stock market will go. This science of understanding the charts and graphs and indicators is called technical analysis, and it will be necessary if you will go with market timing. With market timing, you will be monitoring the stock market at least once a week and preferably daily. And since you're going to be making investment decisions on a much more frequent basis, you will be subjecting yourself to a lot of stressors. So it will require a lot of emotional discipline from the investor. Now that we've tackled the three basic strategies, let's take a closer look at them and compare them with each other. For buy and hold, what you have to remember is that it's buying a good company, then forgetting about it. For peso-cost averaging, it's investing regularly with fixed amounts of money, either monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Then for market timing, you'll be using technical analysis to time the lows and sell the highs of the market. With these strategies, the one that requires the least monitoring is the buy and hold, followed by the peso-cost averaging. Then, with market timing, you'll have to monitor your investments at least daily to weekly so that you'll be able to react quickly to the stock market. Now, in terms of profitability, theoretically and logically, the highest opportunities that exist are with market timing. The reason is that you'll be riding the short, medium, and long-term gains of the market. Now, I would like to emphasize, though, that this is all theoretical. The reason is that in reality, it would depend on the investor's skill and discipline. For instance, Warren Buffett, the world's best stock market investor today, is a follower of the buy and hold strategy. However, before buying his stock, he spends hundreds and hundreds of hours researching the particular company. That's why even if his strategy is buy and hold, he gets huge amounts of returns consistently. For Peso-Cost Averaging, well, many fund managers are actually doing this as their strategy. It would only differ on what stocks they are buying and selling. Now with market timing, I have a lot of friends who are making a lot of money with their short-term trades. But I've also known a lot of people who lose their money because they try and time the market without the necessary skills and discipline. So, with that, let's talk about how you should pick a strategy. The most important thing in picking a strategy is that you pick a strategy that suits your lifestyle. Mainly, your schedule, the amount of time that you have to dedicate to the stock market, and second, your level of interest in the stock market. If you're not interested in studying the companies and in studying the chart patterns, then market timing isn't for you. Stay with buy and hold or Peso-Cost Averaging. Now, I'd like to address the issue of greed here. You know that theoretically you can make a lot of money with market timing. But if it doesn't fit your schedule, if it doesn't fit your level of interest, then don't pursue it. Don't be greedy. Because the important thing here is that you use the stock market in a way that it would complement your lifestyle. If you go with a strategy that doesn't fit you, then you will be complicating your lifestyle. Here is my recommendation. As a beginner, for all beginners, I recommend that you start with Peso-Cost Averaging. It's very simple to do and it's convenient. All you need to do is set a fixed amount of money and then invest that in regular intervals. You only need to engage the stock market at most once a month. And I believe no one is that busy to not have 30 minutes every month. Then most importantly, this strategy would build up the habit of saving and investing. The act of investing every month would keep you focused on your goal of financial freedom. Peso-Cost Averaging would serve as your monthly reminder that you are no longer in a financial rut. You are no longer a spender. You are better than a saver. You are an investor. So go with Peso-Cost Averaging first. Now, if you're interested with other strategies, here's my advice. Start with Peso-Cost Averaging first. Then, branch out to other investing strategies. This is not a case wherein you just have to pick one. You can do all of them in reality. 60% of your money with Peso-Cost Averaging, 20% buy and hold, then 20% market timing. You can do that. Now, I don't mean to make it sound complicated. I just want you to know that you have the option of doing multiple strategies. But for beginners, it's really highly recommended that you start with Peso-Cost Averaging. Because from experience, it's the strategy wherein you can get started immediately. With buy and hold, the pressure of not checking your stock and totally forgetting about it is too much for many newbies. Nakakapraning siya. And it's going to create anxiety. With market timing, the details of technical analysis often leads them to get stuck and not start at all. Actually, this is why it took me 6 months before I got started in the stock market. Because I tried to start with technical analysis. That's why it took me such a long time. So, go with Peso-Cost Averaging first. Buy your first stock and get both your feet into the world of the stock market. As for myself, I'm a 100% Peso-Cost Averaging investor. I have time to do market timing and I know how to read the charts and patterns. But I just don't like it. I don't like taking a look at my stocks on a daily, weekly basis. So I choose not to do it. That's why I'm staying with peso cost averaging. So again, here's the tip. Just set it in your mind right now that you are going to start investing, and your first strategy will be peso cost averaging. And that concludes our video on investing strategies. I hope you learned a lot and enjoyed watching this video. By now, I'm assuming that you're already used to getting action steps from me. So here's your action step. Fill out your application form to CitySec Online and send it to them. The downloadable guide on how you can do this is below this video. In that guide, you'll find where to get the forms, how to fill out the form, and the ways to send it to CitySec Online, whether you're here in the Philippines or you're an OFW. Now, there's no money involved in applying, so don't worry, just do it. At this point in time, I would just like to tell you that you already know a lot. What took me 6 whole months to understand, you already have it in your mind with our past 3 videos. So, it's time to take a step forward towards becoming an investor. We're already halfway done with the learning phase. This is video number 3 of 5. So, it's time that you move yourself to the earning phase. Fill out the application form and send it to CitySec Online. The guide for filling out the forms is below this video. Now, in our next video, I'll be talking about another investing strategy, which I call practical investing. And this will be the key to conveniently invest in the stock market. This video will again be sent to you 2 to 3 days from now, so watch out for it. By now, you already know the drill. Take the action steps and leave your comments and questions below. I'd love to know what you thought of this video. So I'll see you 2 to 3 days from now. Until then, work hard, work smart, and make your money work hard for you.